Africans, gather. Make una hear this one.
South Africa is registered in America as a private company.
You need to watch this video to the end and help me share it. Yo, welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1, where we tell you undiluted truth. And as a Pan-Africanist, we are spreading this crusade to liberate Africans from bad governance. And whenever I come up with the issue of Donald Trump, some people drag me to the mud, especially our people living in the US. But I want to bring you this video.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man?
But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. In Ghana.
Shoot to kill Yamaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa. Shoot to kill Yamaza.
That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But, okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's
We'll need to find out.
I'm not sure, but I think if somebody got up in Parliament and started saying kill a certain group of people, he would be arrested very quickly. That man is going all over South Africa, and that's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation. And those crosses, we have dead white people, dead white farmers, mostly. And you take a look at Australia, they're being inundated, and we're being inundated with people that want to get out. And their farm is valueless, it's valueless, and they just want to get out with their life. And this is a very serious situation. And if we had a real news or real press or media, we don't have that, because they won't talk about this, because they're all guys like that idiot. But if we had a real press, it would be exposed. And you know, the beauty of exposing it is it's like a cleansing action. When it gets exposed, it'll get fixed. That's when it'll get fixed. But people don't talk about it. And I'll tell you who's talking about the thousands of people that are fleeing South Africa right now.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah,
let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party. which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The
been
farmers are
utilized.
black. The farmers are not black.
We
I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently. And, you know, I mean, we're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here. But I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally, one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, but now they have to talk about it.
We discussed USAID and the devastating impact the cuts are having across the African continent.
You know, it's devastating, and hopefully a lot of people are going to start spending a lot of money. And I've talked to other nations. We want them to chip in and spend money too. And we've spent a lot, and it's a tremendous problem going on in many countries. A lot of problems going on. The United States always gets the request for money. Nobody else helps, as you know. Europe doesn't help. Europe hasn't given anything. All they do is sue our companies. You know, they sue Apple, and they sue all of our companies. Apple had to pay $17 billion on a nonsense lawsuit. Very unfair. But we're going to always be there to help.
Trump is now becoming like the president of other presidents in the world, which is what it is. And the South African president have no option than to explain himself. Now, why would it not be so when South Africa actually is a business enterprise of the US?
South Africa is registered in America as a private company. Okay?
What?
Yes. It's not a country, it's a business. You can Google now on New York Stock Exchange. South Africa is registered there as a private company, which has directors and shareholders, not the South Africans. And I'm sorry, many South Africans will hear this and be shocked to their boots. But it's a fact.
So the communication and the conversation you just saw here between Donald Trump and the president of South Africa is just a conversation between an employee and employer. The managing director and the owners of the company. So Ramaphosa is just like, the president of South Africa is just like managing director of South Africa on behalf of the owners, the US. And come to think of it, you know, recently I published it on this platform condemning the attack or the bad treatment meted on some white folks in South Africa, where many of them are homeless and retards and the rest of them. And since afterwards, Donald Trump had been at the front line of bringing white South Africans to America and resettle them. And they call them farmers. And come to think of it, does the land actually belongs to these whites? How did they come about it? And this is the position of many African youths.
And so deep into history, you've taken us back to the 17th century. Yes. In that case, shouldn't everybody leave the property to the Khoisan, who are thought to be the native occupants of South Africa?
No, actually, Africa and South Africa, it belongs to the Bantu people. It belongs to the Ngunis. So it belongs to the people of Africa.
What about Tave here?
We are not saying it doesn't belong here. Now that we are living together here, our perspective is that the land must go back to the chiefs the traditional leaders and the state. We are unapologetic about this. Land must be expropriated without compensation.
And I must tell you, this is what the Bible will say. The sins of the fathers will be revisited upon their children. The sins of the apartheid regime against South Africans, the indigenous South Africans, by the whites, is what is being revisited upon them. I am not actually here to give thumbs up to it, but I'm here to point out a lesson. Even the lesson to every one of us, among us as human beings. Humanity beckons that we should treat to others what and how we want to be treated and how we want to be treated. If you know how you want to be treated, treat others the same. And that is the message. And I just hope the whites, the Western world, will learn from this. Because their longer throats to continue squeezing Africa never end. They are only changing in dynamics. They are only bringing new method to colonize Africa. Beware of China. They are no better. Beware of Russia. They are no better. It's only about the scramble for Africa. It continues. I still remain associated with Peter, the voice of truth, the advocate for good governance, springing up from Africa, spreading this message. I still remain associated Peters. Help me share this video. A Pan-Africanist from the core. We all need to be part of this crusade. Join GGM to liberate Africa from bad governance. Bye-bye for now. GGM, uniting the people for good governance.